Hey guys, Myron from Bloodlines Gaming here. So today I'm going to do my first countdown, which is going to be the top 10 easiest slash strongest nations in EU4, which is Europa Universalis 4. So this is pre-Cossacks patch. So this is Common Sense and all the DLC and stuff before that, but not Cossacks. So I'll probably maybe update it when that comes out, but I'm pretty sure it's still going to be the general same. So, okay, here we go. Okay, and for country number 10, we've got the Merchant Republic of Venice. So, what makes them somewhat easy? Well, they start off with, like, what is this, 5 provinces in the Italian region, like, really high development provinces, especially their capital, Venice. I mean, and it's got the coastal center of trade, of course. And so what makes them really strong is they actually have quite a bit of power in the Venice node, which is pretty rich at the start of the game, with Genoa being a little richer. And so, yeah, they start off with 5 provinces here. They got this little Croatian province here. They've got Dalmatia. They have a core on Albania, which they can actually snag up right off the get-go before the little Ottomans can go and grab it. So, I mean, they got that going for them. They've got Naxos right here as a vassal, and they've also got Corfu as a vassal. Has cores on both of them, so when you eventually integrate them, they will actually you'll actually have 0 autonomy, which is also very lovely. You also have Crete, so you know. But okay, so let's look at the Venetian ideas. Okay, so they got trade efficiency and trade power abroad. So that fits with their entire theme. They're a merchant republic. They make money from trade. That's their whole get-go. And they start with a 444, which he's 71, so he's not going to live long, but I mean, you know, there's that. So, yeah, naval force limit, galley costs, great. Just make their army even bigger. Diplomats, it's okay. It's not the greatest. National trade modifier, 10%, pretty good. National spy defense, ugh, I hate spy defense. I hate spy offense, too. 20% naval maintenance modifier, pretty damn good. Stability costs, and whatever, those suck as well. Land attrition, naval attrition doesn't really matter too much. And 50% galley combat ability, you know, that's a very good one. Because that means that at that point, their navy can stand up to anything in these inland seas. Which is pretty much where they're going to be. I mean, the chance of them actually coming out, what is it, this far to fight anybody is pretty low. So, who's your biggest threat as Venice? Well, your biggest threat most likely will be Austria, especially if they rival you, like they have rivaled you this time. But you also are pretty friendly. So, let's see. Byzantium, Austria, Aragon, and Milan have all rivaled me. That's whatever, because none of them can really beat me straight up, especially if I ally a big powerhouse like France, Castile, Hungary, who are all friendly to me. I bet England's even friendly. Yep, even England's friendly. Portugal, it's neutral. Aragon's rivaled, but again, doesn't matter. Ottomans hate our guts because they just want to conquer us. And another thing about the Merchant Republic that is pretty unique is they start with a casus belli on... do you not actually have a core on... Okay, so you don't actually have a core on Naxos. You only have a core on Corfu. Okay. So... They start with a casus belli against all over merchant republics, which at the beginning of the game is Ragusa, Genoa, Novgorod, and the Hansa. The Hansa and Novgorod clearly are not going to affect you because they are way too far. However, Ragusa is a 1-province minor right next to you. You can easily fabricate a claim and just take that. Center of trade, Catholic, Croatians, which is accepted. And your primary culture is Venetian, which you are the primary culture of, so you will never lose it. Lose these provinces as cores. So yeah, your whole thing about Genoa is to just make trade, make money from trade. I mean, 15 ducats from trade. I'm sure that'll go down as the month progresses. Probably at about, yeah, see, 7.8, but still, it's quite a bit. But yeah, you don't really have a lot of issues as Venice. You've got a pretty decent navy off the get-go. Ugh, it's not that good. But you can definitely make some more. I mean, let's see, you gotta force them to 19 and force them to 23 in land. So, I mean, You can definitely tussle with the Austrians if it comes to that, but usually they're friendly. It's kind of weird that they rival. I think if it's an AI Venice, an AI Austria, they actually have historical friendship or some bullshit like that. Burgundy is also friendly. So I mean, lots of alliance choices that you can go for, and of course, as an Italian nation, you can form Italy, and Italy has some just ridiculously awesome ideas. But yeah, you also get nice little events as Venice, like special events because you're Venice. Okay, but yep, that is number 10, Venice. Okay, and for number 10, we've got the Kingdom of England. Now, you're probably thinking, well, England becomes a ginormous powerhouse, right? Well, that's true, but at the start of the game, 1444, which is where I always start, England's actually kind of in a shitty place. So, I think it was like 2 DLCs ago, when you started the game in 1444, you were automatically in war with France. And they would just crush you pretty much. You couldn't really defend your provinces that you have over here. You also have a core army, eh? But it's actually easier now because England actually kind of can stand up to France toe to toe if they have good allies. Like, okay, Castile's rival, that's bad. Aragon's neutral. Portugal is already allied with you, but they're not going to help offensively. Burgundy hates your guts, like, because they want clay for Flanders. But okay. So what makes England somewhat easy, though? They have a huge army. They make good money. They're in probably one of the best trade nodes, the English Channel, which is probably the second best trade node going. Genoa, English Channel, Venice, because those are all the 3 end trade nodes. But not to mention you get a ton of just special events as England, but you also get a ton of crappy events as England. Like, as you can see, because of our crap, just terrible, god-awful 000 disgusting King Henry VI Lancaster ruler, we're getting the War of the Roses. Now, the War of the Roses is just a terrible event. It's just so bad. You are going to just be miserable for a while, and you're probably going to get declared on by France. So you need to find friends like right off the get-go. Austria's friendly. They'll be a good deterrent against France. Venice is probably friendly. Yep, Venice might be another good one as the deterrent. But with England, you need to get past the first probably 20 years, because not only do you have this crappy-ass War of the Roses going to sit around for who knows how long, but you also get this Lawlord events, which like gives you 20 unrest in like 3 different provinces. So, okay, so let's say you get past all that. Well, you can actually get a mission to get a personal union with France. Now, the aggressive expansion you get for trying to get a personal union over France would be insane, but you can do it. It would be hard to keep them in check, but it would definitely make you just super strong. Okay, so you start with England, of course. You've got the Norman provinces and the Gascony provinces down here. Gascons accepted because you also have Armagnac as a core. Normans not accepted. Okay. Neither is Welsh, and then the rest of your provinces are English and 1 Irish province over here. So, what you can do, you can either decide, because all these little Irish miners over here, every single one of them will accept vassalization. They have no reason to. You can crush them if you want. You're not going to want to conquer Scotland, because you actually have a unique idea. You have the form the British nation diplomatically, which means if you have a union over Scotland, or they're your vassal, you just automatically inherit them with 0 unrest, or 0 autonomy in all the provinces. So, I mean, it's just free stuff. So, normally, I'd probably make, like, Connaught a vassal, and maybe feed them, because he's the only one that borders all the Irish provinces. Just give him all 3 of these. Or you just conquer them outright. I mean... And so what else the English has is they have the English monarchy, which is a unique monarchy only for them, which works as a constitutional monarchy, but only for the English. And So you gotta deal with this Parliament shit, which I haven't played as English much. Oh, and of course the English have a just ridiculously strong navy. I mean, no fucking navy can beat this right now. There's no navy on this map that can tussle with this thing. But yeah, their ideas are very subpar. Morale of our navies is really good. Embargo efficiency, though, can just go die, because that's terrible. Heavy ship combat ability, yearly navy resistance, those are okay. 15 tax, that's pretty great. Diplomatic relation +1, whatever. National tax modifier, 15%, now that's really good. National unrest and global terrorists, also really good. Discipline, +5, always good. Ship durability, whatever. And then you got the leaders without upkeep, also whatever. But they're clearly a colonial power, so you want to go exploration pretty early on. But yeah, I mean, you get a lot of events. Oh, you also have a core on Picardy, so you can take that away from Burgundy when you want to. But England has a lot of special events with them, so I mean, they're a fun country to play, but they've been nerfed pretty hard. Hit pretty hard, at least. Okay, well, that's okay, and for number 8, we have the Archduchy of Austria. So, Austria is part of the Holy Roman Empire, which is this big blob of a fucking thing. So, they also start as the emperor. And so, Austria is a pretty unique country because you also have this historical friendship with Hungary. So, I mean, yeah, but Austria is this unique country where your main goal in the game is to stay the emperor. That's what Austria is. From this point on, you should always be the emperor of the Holy Roman Empire. Like, your ideas are all about that. Morale of armies, better relations over time, imperial authority, diplomatic annexation costs. Like, I mean, just almost all of these are just to keep your imperial ambitions alive. So, I mean, so what do you want to do early on as Austria? Well, you want to ally all the electors that you can. Bohemia, you don't want to ally them because they're going to start voting for themselves at some point, and same with Brandenburg. Cologne, the Palatinate, and either Trier or Mainz are who I usually ally. Saxony also might vote for themselves sometimes, so that's why I tend not to ally them. I do, however, increase relations with all of them. You also want to keep a very strong navy. A very strong navy. Your navy's pitiful. You want to keep a very strong army because you have a huge force limit for being the emperor. You don't make a ton of money, but you have Tyrol, which is gold, and gold's lovely. And at some point in the game, you'll get an event that like doubles the income you get from this, so it's pretty great. But you need to be careful, very careful being offensive with Austria, because if you're too offensive with Austria, France or Burgundy might attack someone in the empire, and then you're going to have to defend them, and if you don't, you lose 50 relations with everybody in the empire, so that basically just ruins your chances of keeping it. You also have a chance to get a personal union over Hungary, which will definitely help your chances in keeping your imperial ambitions alive. So, not too long ago, they added a new little thing, and I'll show you that real quick. Just gotta go through a couple of days. Let's just wait for it to pop up. It should pop up for the end of November. Or maybe December, I don't know. Sorry, slight interruption there. So, okay. I'll let it go by a couple more days. It should pop up very soon. But it's an event to keep the, it's called the Shadow Empire. It's keep the Italian nations, which are Savoy, Montferrat, Milan, Genoa, Mantua, Ferrara, Lucca, and Tuscany and Siena in the empire. And if you fail to get all of the Kingdom of Italy, which includes this, and this in the empire by 1490, and keep it in the empire until 1550, then all of the Italian states will get a choice to leave the empire, which the AI will, I think, always take. So, I mean, keep that in mind. It's not that big of a deal, because if they're not in the empire, you get less aggressive expansion for conquering them, and you can vassalize them a lot easier. So, I mean, it's really not that big of a deal, personally, but it's just something to keep in mind. And so, yep. So your rivals are Burgundy. France normally rivals you, but they can also be friendly towards you. Castile likes you, Aragon probably likes you, England probably likes you. Yeah, I was going to say they hate you, but Bohemia usually rivals you at some point. Of course, Venice hates your guts, even though AI Venice and AI Austria get along pretty okay. So, yeah, so there's also the Burgundy inheritance that can happen, is if Burgundy's at war and they get a lot of war exhaustion, you can inherit all of this land, as long as they keep their union over Flanders, Brabant, who else? Flanders, Brabant, and then you also, no, you won't get this, because France gets anything, you get everything that Burgundy has that's in the empire, which is, then everything else that isn't in the empire goes to France, except these. I think you actually get these, but I'm not sure. But, yeah, that's, oh, Holland, too. You get Holland as well, because Holland's underneath of Burgundy. But, yeah, that's Austria. They're a very interesting nation with a lot of unique ideas, and, of course, they're part of the von Habsburg dynasty, which is one of the most famous dynasties in history. So, yeah, they're a very interesting country to play, but they are quite difficult to keep in balance. And for number 7, we've got Burgundy. So, Burgundy is a very interesting country. It's situated between France and Austria, basically. I mean, I have all these little Holy Roman Emperor minors surrounding him as well. But their big enemies are Austria and France, who I think at one point both of them were historical rivals, but they pretty much always rival you, pretty much no matter what. You also got England to the north, and they fucking hate your guts too, because you own Picardy, which is a English court, and they own Calais, which is a Flemish court, and Flanders is a union underneath of you. So, Burgundy used to start with this land down here, and then all of its union members, Brabant, Flanders, and Holland, were all already court provinces of theirs, and so I think it was a couple patches ago they made it where they're personal unions and a vassal instead of just all their land. So Burgundy starts out with a really good leader, Duke Philippe III de Bourgogne, but he's only 48, but he seems to never make it past like 55, 56. He dies really early on usually. And then you got your 204 Charles de Bourgogne, which yeah, not nearly as good. So none of your people really want liberty at the start, so that's good. You won't have to worry about that. Your income is okay. It's not going to compare to France. So what's your first objective as Burgundy? Well, your first objective is to either secure an alliance with Aragon or Castile. Definitely Castile if they're friendly. Castile is going to be your only deterrent against France just wrecking your face. Savoy is also another good one. Bohemia, Hungary might also be good. Hungary's friendly, so I'd say Hungary and Castile. And maybe if Castile's not friendly, I'd go for Aragon. I think Castile's stronger than Aragon, even with Naples as a union underneath of them. They're especially strong. Castile's especially strong if they get the free personal union over Aragon. Then that just makes them just mollywomp stump France. Okay, so you got these decisions. You can form the Dutch nation. Now, forming the Dutch nation is going to give every province in the French region to France, which would be, you would have to give all these provinces to France, and you would just be able to keep the ones, everything else that's not in the French region. I think that's stupid, but you used to be able to give it all to a vassal, but now I think the vassal's territory also goes to France, so keep that in mind. So, Burgundian ideas. They start with mercenary maintenance and diplomatic relations, so not bad. They definitely need that diplomatic relations, because I think they're already near the cap. Yeah, they only can have one more without suffering Diplo points. So, okay, first idea is yearly prestige +1. It's okay. Prestige is important. Mercenary cost 20%. Available mercenaries 100%. That used to give force limit. Like, I think it was 12 force limit for 100% available mercenaries, but now it doesn't, so it's meh now. 5% discipline, always good, never can argue with that. 10% national trade modifier, since you're in the English Channel, can never argue with that. And by that time, you'll almost definitely have Flanders and Holland integrated, so you'll have a lot of power here. You'll be contesting mostly with England. Okay, and then you've got a tolerance of heretics. That's also decent for when the Reformation happens, which would probably be around this point. National manpower modifier, 25%. Always good to have more troops because yours is somewhat low at this point. And then you got trade steering 10%. That's kind of crap, but what are you going to do? So, you're going to want to just play peacefully, unless you really want to conquer France. I think you have a... No, never mind. Okay. So, if you were to go war with France, you definitely need Castile as an ally. Because France, by you versus France, France will win. They have like almost 30,000 troops, I think. Yeah, 28,000 troops. You've got 15. Sure, you've got another 6, 8, 10. So I mean, you got 25,000 if you all group together. Your king starts as a general, pretty good general, 3-3-3-1. That's not bad. But France starts with Jean Barreau, which is like a 4-4 or something, I think. He's pretty crazy as well. But, yeah, so Burgundy, you just want to try to survive against France. Austria is not as big of an issue as long as you don't go to war with the other empire miners, because they'll pretty much always join in. So you just need to wait until France gets into a weak spot. Also trying to ally maybe Castile and Aragon might be okay, because they probably both hate France. Yeah, they both hate France. I mean, you could definitely use them against France. And you could probably use Castile against England as well. Oh, I didn't mention it. Well, no, the wrong country. But, yeah, so that's it. For number 6, we've got Portugal. So, Portugal is a very friendly country, actually. They start off in an alliance with England, who I think historically they were pretty good friends with. You're basically guaranteed an alliance with Castile, because you're historical friends on both sides. Also historical friends with Aragon. Navarre's neutral. So, pretty much everything about Portugal is just conquering Africa and colonization. So if you don't like colonization, don't play Portugal, because Portugal and even Castile are just colonial nations, basically. I mean, you could you could rival Castile, I guess, and try to conquer them, but I don't think that's going to work, considering they've got 106% stronger army than we do, and I think we're somewhat close to the cap already. You start off with the one thing that Portugal does start off with is they start off with Diogo Gomes, which is an explorer, which you normally can't get until Admin Tech 5, and then getting into the second idea of exploration. So you can explore before everybody else. Nobody else has a explorer before you. Of course, you don't get a colonialist until first idea here. So it's like a Portugal idea. Trade efficiency 5%. It's okay. Wish it was 10%, but trade range 30%. I've never liked trade range. I think it's stupid. Colonial range 25%. Actually, very useful in the beginning game. Things are pretty far away. Usually, it's hard to colonize. Oh, you also have these 2 islands, the Azores and what is this? Cape Verde? No, Madeira. This is Cape Verde, right? I guess. Okay. So then you've got goods produced modifier 10%. That's okay. Global trade power 10%. That's all right. Extra merchant. That's always nice. Build cost 25%. That's pretty good. 1/4 of normal build cost. Global settler increase 15. That's not bad. Trade modifier 10%. Pretty good. And then global tariffs 20%. That's okay. So let's see, missions. No. The first mission that Portugal usually goes for is the Conquer Tangiers, which is this province right here. AI Portugal is usually dumb as bricks, and they can never fight Morocco, but a human Portugal can just take their army over here in Ceuta, and they can just beat Morocco that way. Castile will help as well, but who knows if they'll actually do anything. So, yeah, if you don't like colonization in this game, don't play Portugal, because that's all they really do. Yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say about Portugal. They're probably the most peaceful country in EU4, because really, nobody's ever going to attack them. Castile will almost never betray you because you're historical friends, unless you keep non-stop getting into wars because of Aragon. I suggest only allying Castile, because allying Castile and Aragon is just going to get you into a load of trouble. And I mean, you don't want Castile turning on you, because Castile will absolutely destroy Portugal if it came to it. So you always want to be Castile's friend, or they will absolutely mollywomp you. Maybe if somehow you could get Burgundy and France on your side to fight Castile, even just France, you could probably beat them, but I just don't see a point. I think Portugal's all about colonization. That's what they were historically, basically, and that's what they are in EU4. So, for number 5, we got Muscovy. So, Muscovy starts off with 3 vassals. Yeah. Yaroslav, Pskov, and Perm over here. Perm actually has a extremely good leader, 645. That's so good. Okay, so you start with 3-1-2. Your historical rivals with Novgorod. They want you dead, you want them dead. It's just mutual hatred. So, one of the first missions you start with is Conquer Novgorod, which gives you claims on every single province they have. So, you either want to either attack Tver first, fabricate a claim on them and attack them, or Ryazan, because you're going to need these provinces to make Russia, which is Muscovy's bread and butter, because it gives them a ton of fucking claims. Not to mention that they become an empire, which is awesome. So you're part of the Rekovich family, which is also in Ryazan, Tver, and Yaroslav. So I guess you could get a personal union over these guys, but they're 1 and 2 province minors, so I mean they really do not matter. Okay, so let's talk about Russian ideas. 25% national manpower modifier and 20% infantry cost. That pretty much just says that Russia is a very infantry-based country. Also, they are Eastern type. First ideal group, 15% core reduction. It's great. 50% land force modifier. That's just ridiculous. 10% manpower recovery and 20% culture conversion cost. Great stuff. 10% production efficiency. It's good stuff. Adjacent territories automatically discovered when a colony is built, and +1 colonist. So Russia is going to be colonizing all of this land all over here, and you're probably going to want to go maybe not exploration, but expansion as maybe your second or third idea group. Expansion's over here in the admin. So after that, you've got the yearly armor tradition plus 0.5. I don't care for that much, but tech cost, negative 10%, it's pretty good. And national manpower modifier plus 50%. So Russia is the only country in the game that has 2 of the same thing in their idea groups, 25% and then 50%, which is pretty ridiculous. So, yep, you want to conquer Novgorod, conquer Ryazan and Tver, integrate your vassals. The first 40 years is just going to be attacking Novgorod, maybe trying to support Swedish independence. Nope, they don't want to. Lithuania hates your guts. Poland probably tolerates you, though. Yeah, might want to butt-buddy up with Poland, because they're a pretty strong ally. Golden Horde, hate your guts, you hate them. Kazan, hate your guts, you hate them. You're going to be conquering them after you form Russia and all that jazz. So, yep, that's And here's number 4. Poland. So Poland starts with Muscovy as a vassal and Moldavia as a march. So you're going to want to integrate Muscovy as quickly as possible, because it's Polish land. Polish-Ruthenian land, which is just a great land for your country, especially Polish land. So the biggest thing, Poland starts with a 0-0-0 interregnum. Sometime in the next 10 years, you're going to get an idea that switches you to a elective monarchy, which is a special, unique type of monarchy for Poland only. So Poland is very strong. They have extremely good ideas. 20% cavalry cost, 15% accepted culture threshold, it's great. 10% production, it's great. 10% stability, sucks. 25 national manpower, it's awesome. Infantry combat ability, 10%, great. 33% cavalry combat ability, the best in the game, that's awesome. Regiment cost, negative 10%, that also decreases maintenance cost by 10%. Discipline, 5%. Morale of armies, 15%, and then tolerance of heretics, 3%, or 3. They have great ideas, but what is their strongest attribute is this idea right here. Form union with Lithuania. You need 1 stability and 100 diplo power, and you get a free personal union over all of this, just for free. And they're a historical friend, so they will pretty much never try to turn on you when you're your union. So Poland gets a bunch of militias to conquer Prussia, or as they are now, the Teutons. So you're going to want to take all of this land for yourself. Also, attacking Hungary might not be a bad idea. They're a pretty easy target as long as they don't ally with Austria too early on. Wallachia is also a decent target, but you'll have to take some Hungarian land to get there. Lithuania will probably fabricate claims on Crimea, Golden Horde, all these people, so you can use that to attack them. Livonian Order, also an easy target, as they usually ally with the Teutons, so you can easily just go whoop their ass. When you get Diplotech 10, you can form the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, which you integrate Lithuania for free and get 0 autonomy on all this beautiful, glorious land, and so you just become a super fucking powerhouse. Poland has a lot of negative things going for it, though. It has a lot of negative events around pretty much the entire game. Around 1600, you'll be able to possibly switch to like an absolute monarchy, I think it is, but you have to deal with some crazy rebellions to do that. Once you integrate Muscovy, you'll actually get a decision to switch your capital to Warsaw, which is good because it'll give you extra free base tax. Also, didn't mention, you are Eastern Tech, not Western, even though quite a few of your neighbors are Western. All of these neighbors are all Western. No, Hungary's Eastern, actually. But yeah, you start with a decent army. I think you still have some force limit. Yep, you got 6 more. You're not a very rich country, though. I guess you're not that bad. You could shut off these forts to make some extra money if you need to. But yep, integrate Muscovy, kill Russia too. Russia's bad. Kill the Teutons, probably conquer Hungary, and that's Poland. Now we're getting to the real strong ones. Here's number 3, Castile. So Castile, of course, starts with a historical friendship bonus with Portugal, so they'll be your best friend forever. Aragon hates your guts. You have the same dynasty as Navarra and Aragon, so you can easily vassalize Navarra, or you can just claim it and conquer it. One of your first things to do when this truce right here is over is to take this glorious Finnish Reconquista and just get all this delectable Andalusian land. You'll get a decision, usually, that will change this to Catholic, and I also think there's one that switches it to Castilian, which is your primary culture. So let's talk about the Castilian ideas. We've got 1 missionary and 15 morale of armies. Fucking fantastic. 5 discipline is the first idea. It's great. Spanish Inquisition, 2% missionary strength. It's great because you're going to have a lot of Sunni land to convert, most likely. Can fabricate claims on overseas provinces belonging to another nation who are also overseas from the province or to their colonial nations. Pretty good. And a free colonist, always good. Yearly people influence, so you clearly want to stay Catholic to actually benefit from this. 10% provincial trade modifier, and 15% global tariffs. It's great. 10% heavy ship combat ability. It's great. Yearly prestige +1. It's okay. And global settler increase 25. Pretty fucking sweet. So you may think, well, don't I want to kill Aragon? Well, yes and no, because there's a pretty big probability that you'll get a free personal union over Aragon, and if they actually keep their union over Naples, you'll also get that. So, and that will just make you stupendously strong. Also, let's mention Castile's just disgusting ruler, 112, and his even more disgusting son, 000. Ugh. Get them both killed. Oh, and you also start with Alvaro de Luna as a general. So, first thing you want to do is put both of these terrible people in the battlefield and hope that they die, because they're just terrible rulers. So, France probably rivaled me. Nope, France is actually friendly. So, you could ally France, or you could try to conquer France, because Burgundy is almost always friendly with you. Let's see. Nope, they are neutral. But you could definitely get them friendly, and they'll definitely help you against France. England probably hates you. Nope. Wow, okay. Not a lot of people hate us today. Jeez. So, you want to conquer Navarre pretty much as early as possible. Same with Granada. Castile is definitely a colonial nation. So, just like with Portugal, colonizing is a huge part of your country, so you're going to want to go exploration as a probably second idea group. Go some kind of maybe admin as a first idea, maybe religious, so you can convert all this disgusting Sunni land. But yeah, Castile's definitely one of the strongest countries in the game. So welcome to number 2, the country of France. So France is definitely the strongest European power. They can fight Burgundy, England, Aragon, Castile, Portugal. Doesn't matter. He can fight them all. So, France starts with a 422, 41-year-old, with a 432 heir. Actually, both pretty damn decent. Starts with 28,000 troops, with another 4,000 that can be made. Starts with a pathetically small navy, but okay, so let's talk about France. So, what's your first goal with France? Well, your first goal with France is to secure an alliance with someone, be it Aragon or Castile. One of those two. Since Castile rivaled this time, that would be impossible. So, Aragon it is. So, England must be driven by France. Take that. Okay, so you have cores in Labourd, Gascony, Normandy, and Conques. And you're going to be taking all of them back, because they're just glorious French lands. Gascon, Basque is actually not French, but Gascon and Norman are both French. And you are a cultural union of all French provinces, which is all of this ridiculous stuff. It's a huge fucking culture group. Right behind German. German's just ridiculous as well. This is one of the smaller culture groups. But, alright, let's talk about the French ideas. 20% national manpower and 1 diplomatic reputation. It's a equal on militaristic and diplomatic. Income from vassals and diplomatic annexation costs go down. That's great. Morale of armies, 20%. It's glorious. National tax modifier, 10%. This one I'm very torn on. Native attacks are severely reduced, and development cost reduction from natives is increased by 100%. So, France can easily be the colonial empire of Europe. But then you're going to get into a lot of tussles with Castile, Portugal, and England. And so, you kind of need to decide, do you want to be a European empire or a colonial empire? You can be both, but you won't be as super strong. So, that's something to keep in mind. Fort maintenance, 20%. It's pretty good. Tech reduction, 10%. Not bad. 2% tolerance of heretics and heathens, pretty decent. And then discipline, 5%, always good. So, well, what's your first goal? Your first goal, take out England. Bye-bye, England. You'll get a mission to vassalize France. You can either do that peacefully or aggressively. Burgundy is all French provinces mostly, so they need to go as well because they belong in your glorious empire. Provence has 2 Francian provinces, which is your primary culture, so they deserve to be owned by you. They also have these provinces, which are in the Genoa node, which is the best node in the game by far. You really don't have main power in like any central nodes, so your trading income is not very good. Your income mostly comes from taxation and production. So, and you spend a lot on forts because you have quite a few forts. I think these 2 forts down here are definitely great because this one's also good to stop the Austrians, who are actually friendly, surprisingly. Hungary is almost always friendly if you can always pick an alliance with them. Austria is kind of iffy. It depends if you want to attack the empire. If you're going to conquer into the empire, then outlying Austria might not be the best idea. But yeah, that's about it. So I think number 1 will be a surprise to nobody. It is the Ottomans. So what makes the Ottomans strong? Well, everything. Okay, so they start with cores on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 provinces. 11 provinces with cores. You have truces with, well, not these 2. You could declare war day 1, but Karaman you have a truce with, and not Kandahar, just Karaman. So you can easily just hit these 3, take your cores back. Turkish, Sunni, Kurd land, it's just great stuff. So you have a lot of Greek provinces, Greek and Bulgarian, which are both accepted cultures, and also Orthodox, but that's not a problem. Let's talk about the Ottomans ruler, Sultan Mehmet II Fatih Osmangola, 556 12-year-old. Thank you. What a fucking ruler, right? No heir, but you'll be getting heir real soon. As a Sunni, you 100% chance of a new heir. You got all your Sunni decisions you can do. And then look at that one. City of World's Desire. Conquer Constantinople. So, you want to take this mission right now. However, you don't want to do it yet. You want to fabricate claims on both of these and this, because Greek lands, which are accepted, so you're going to want all this eventually anyways. After you conquer Constantinople, as long as Byzantium does not exist, you get a decision to get a free core, free culture conversion, and free religion conversion on Constantinople. Not to mention increases the base tax by like 8 for no reason. It's just absolutely insane. And so you take that, and it's just, and it makes it your capital. It's just fucking fantastic. So what other kind of missions do Ottomans have? Well, they have vassalize Wallachia, conquer Serbia. You'll also have a core on Albania, I forgot to mention, so buy Albania. Conquer the Levant, which is like all of this territory here up to like right here. And then after you're done with that, well, what do you get after that? You get conquer Egypt, of course, which is the rest of the poor Mamluks who hate your guts. And after you're done that, what do you get? Conquer Tripoli, which is all of this. And then what do you get? Conquer Tunisia, which is the rest of this. And then you get, like, conquer the Mesopotamia, which is like this. Conquer Georgia. Conquer Circassia. Just conquer everything. As the Ottomans, your power is just insane. Don't even get me started on your ideas. 5% discipline, tolerance of heathens, 3. That's fucking fantastic. 5% discipline? That's nuts. Core creation costs 33% and accepted culture 15%. Like, what the hell? That's just so ridiculous. And then manpower recovery speed 20%. Oh, God. Oh. Cavalry combat ability 15%. To be honest, after this though, it starts dying off pretty hard. 10% cost of reducing war exhaustion. Whatever, that's crap. Absolute crap. 10% national tax, that's okay, but nothing great. 10% national trades, okay, but nothing great. Ship cost, 10%, crap. Land force limit, 33%, fantastic. So, I'll be honest, I always go humanist first on the Ottomans. It just makes conquering everything just so easy. And then I usually go either influence or quality, and then I go religious. I think that I think humanist influence religious with the Ottomans just makes them a god. You can't fuck with them. They're just the strongest country in the game by far. They start with so many cores. They start with such a big fucking 26,000 troops right to get-go with another 5 they can make. It's insane. Not to mention that they're basically everywhere they're going to be fighting is all inland seas, so you can just galley horde. You can just make. I usually see the Ottomans with 70 or 80 fucking galleys, and like, who's going to come here and fight that? Okay, nobody. And Venice, once you have 70 galleys, what are they going to do? They're going to sit there in their little fucking Venetian capital, and they're going to cry as you conquer all of this land. And it's just, the Ottomans are just ridiculous. They're just, nobody can contest them, except maybe Timmy early on. And if Hungary, Austria, and Poland can fight you, you might be in trouble, but other than that, you really have no issues. Mamluks can never tussle with you, especially with, like, what is it, yeah, that's not going to stand up to your 5% discipline. Okay, well, that's my EU4 countdown for the top 10 strongest / easiest nations to play. Thank you for watching.